Welcome to the WEInvested Podcast, where we teach you how to save and make more cash. I'm your host, Wesley, and here I have with me
Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, and this is season 2, episode 4, retirement accounts. But before we get started, we must let you know we do not offer any financial, legal, or tax advice on this show. Let's do it. Season 2, episode 4, different retirement accounts. And the quote for today is, "The question isn't at what age I want to retire, it's at what income," by George Foreman.
Yeah. We laughed about this before. Is this George Foreman of the George Foreman Grill?
Absolutely.
Really? Is he like into financial planning or something?
Man, I don't know, but this was a genius quote.
It's totally a good quote. But like, if you weren't in like financial planning, I would have never said that sentence. You know?
Nah, man, he's getting old though. So
yeah, I guess that's true.
He's gotta focus on that retirement.
Yeah, he's retired. That's true. I didn't think about that. That's funny.
Yeah, man, what's going on though? How you doing?
Man, all good here. I'm a little nervous about retirement plans. I'm honestly a little rusty when it comes to retirement plans, but I feel like we got enough to talk about today, which is cool.
Yeah, man, don't be nervous. We got it.
Yeah, totally.
We got it, man. So, do you have any retirement accounts yourself? Are you a fan of it? What are your thoughts on that, man?
Oh man, you know I do. Yeah, I have a 401k. I think we're gonna talk about all of these different things, and then I have HSA, and then Shelby, my wife, she has. Man, what does she have? She gets a pension though, because she's gonna work for the state, so I mean I guess that's kind of a retirement account. So yeah, that's what we got going on. How about you? I'm sure you do.
For sure, man. Yeah, 401k for sure.
Yeah.
HSA for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Roth IRA, but I don't really.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have like a few brokerage accounts that have like no purpose. So like I'm just like, this might be a retirement account. This might, just I have no idea what I'm gonna do with those. So. Yeah,
man. But it's good that we're thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
20s, we were just talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's super powerful to have these kind of plans going for you. So let's get into it.
Let's do it, man. So first plan is the 401k, which is an employee-sponsored plan.
Yeah.
And so this is the most common plan and I think the easiest plan to have and maintain, because normally if your job offers a 401k, then your employer handles everything.
Yeah, definitely. I think for most people, their companies offer some kind of 401k. So yeah, it's what most people are familiar with, but not to say that it's not a little intimidating too, because usually you sign up to a new job and then you get all this paperwork, saying like, where do you want to invest all your money? That's a little freaky. So
it is a little, yeah, man. Yeah. I never thought about it that way, but it is.
Yeah.
I know here they walk, where we work, they kind of walk us through what to do.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But other places I know, like I've had family members that are around my age that they like get into a job and they're like, they don't work in finance or they don't work, in wealth management. And then they're just like, told to make this very important decision when they're like nervous that they just started a new job and like they don't want to look stupid,
Right.
And so it's kind of an intimidating thing, especially, when you're starting a new job to make these big decisions that are going to affect your retirement.
Man, it's very intimidating. I feel the same way about insurance. Whenever they tell me you have to I'm like, man.
No, I mean, it's totally true. Yeah, big decisions, man. It's scary. I get that.
Yeah, man. So most employers offer 401ks, and those are the most like commonly used retirement accounts for when you retire.
Yeah. And
sometimes some employers even match whatever you contribute to your 401k. They'll match you at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, maybe not.
Yeah. And usually how you contribute to a 401k is pre-tax earnings. So before, all that means is that before the money gets to you, they take a certain percentage off of that of your, salary or whatever you're getting, and they put it into this 401k before it gets taxed by, the government, the state, whoever's, taxing you. So it's really a cool way to build some wealth, because if you were to contribute, money from your paycheck, it's already been taxed by whatever your tax rate is. And for 401ks, you get that added benefit that they're, not taxed already, your contributions.
Right, and you kind of get the chance to shelter some money.
Yeah.
From being taxed at the end of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you get to shelter some cash.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's kind of another intimidating topic. Maybe we should do an episode about that, about lowering your gross income, because,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, because that gets, that's a little intimidating for people, but it can really help you at the end of the year to get some money back, or to plan for your taxes a little better. So.
For sure, man. And normally how you set up a 401k or how your job will do it, they'll kind of ask you what % would you like to contribute.
Yeah.
And then from then on, once you set it up, it's just automatically deducted from your paycheck. So you don't really have to think about it again. Yeah,
totally. And then you talked about how employers might match your contribution.
Right.
I think it's pretty standard knowledge that if your employer matches, a certain percentage of your contributions, that should definitely be the amount that you contribute if you can.
For sure.
Because I mean, it's free money essentially. That if you're putting in 5% of your wages and they're matching 100% of that contribution, there's no reason why you wouldn't, unless you have a really dire need for that money elsewhere. So,
man, and I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Get your opinion, man.
Okay, let's see.
So I left my job. I left a job to come to a new job.
Yeah.
So I still have a 401k with my old job. So now I have two separate.
Yeah.
I hear all the time that I should
roll it over.
Yeah. I hear all the time that I should aggregate the accounts and consolidate them and whatever, but I've been lazy and let them stay separate. What would you do, man?
Man, yeah, that's a good question. I would say that there's probably nothing wrong with having two separate ones, but I mean, for a lot of things in financial planning, you want it to be fairly simple. And people change in employers all the time. So if you just contact, the HR department of wherever you work at, then you can get that rolled over pretty easily. I mean, it's pretty standard and pretty fast. So I mean, it decreases your complexity. And Whittier offers, I don't know what your last employer was offering, but Whittier has pretty good retirement plans. So it's good to have the same options in both, in your 401k, your retirement planning, and it just makes it a little simpler.
For sure, man. For sure. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Traditional IRAs.
Yeah.
I think the coolest thing about this one is that you can shelter money again.
Yeah, totally.
You can hide money again from the government, so they won't tax it.
Yeah, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people think about, or actually a lot of people do think about this, but is that you pay a ton of money in taxes every year. Like, if you think about it, it's one of your biggest expenses, right? So if you can lower that in a legal way, that's a great thing, because it's more money in your pocket. And for this, it's, maybe not money in your pocket right now, but later on when you retire, it turns into a lot more money. So it's cool. It's a good way to build wealth, is lowering your tax bill.
For sure, man. And traditional IRAs are pretty common, but I don't know if many employers offer them. So this may have to be something that you do on your own, or through a bank or credit union or whatever. Yeah. Usually, that 401ks are what most employers offer, and traditional IRAs are things that people set up on their own, whether they're self-employed or they don't like their 401k options. They'll make a IRA. For sure. For sure. And then in the same IRA family, now is a Roth IRA.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit more flexible than a traditional IRA. But it's taxed a little differently. Yeah. So you're taxed up front. So the money that you put into the Roth IRA is taxed, but it grows tax-free.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thought is, so like a traditional IRA, is once you withdraw the money from that, it's taxed at whatever tax rate that you are at. So,
right.
If you think that when you're taking out money, like say when you're 65, if you think you have a high tax bracket, it would make a little more sense for you to do a Roth IRA, because the idea is that you would have probably a lower tax bracket when you're younger, not making as much money. And, you can save some money by doing that on your tax bill. So it's really just kind of weighing the benefits of, do I think I have a higher tax bracket now, which you would do a traditional IRA, or do you think, you'll have a lower tax bill? I messed that up, but if you think you have a lower tax bill now, you would do, or a tax rate now, you would do a Roth IRA. If you think it would be later, you would do a traditional IRA. There we go.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure, man. And hold on, let me get my thoughts back together. Yeah, man. Roth IRAs. I actually have one, Roth IRA, but I do not use it, or of course I don't use it. I don't contribute to it right now.
Yeah.
I just got it started, but that was one of the main reasons why I was attracted to it, because you can let your money grow tax free. Anytime you can do that, that's always a win-win.
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of people that are our age have Roth IRAs. So.
They're getting popular, right?
Yeah, super popular.
Next, we have the HSA accounts, or the health savings accounts.
Yeah, man, this is the one that we both have, and it's one of the ones that isn't quite as popular as the other ones. But why don't you explain what it is?
So, HSA account is a health savings account, which is designated and used for medical expenses or any health-related expenses.
Yeah.
So you put money to the side, you contribute money to this account. And once you reach a certain limit, your funds will be invested, and then it'll grow tax free for you, but to only be used for medical expenses. Yeah,
or you can, after you're retired, or actually after you reach a certain age, you can start taking out money tax free from that as well.
Without it being medical.
Yeah,
that's cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, and that's the super powerful thing about the HSA is that it's dual purpose. Like, you can take out money for medical purposes, which is awesome, because you can use it for your everyday expenses, or you can just let it grow, and then it just basically turns into another retirement account.
Right. And so it's really the best thing to do is to start while you're young as possible. Yeah. Because when you're young, hopefully you won't need it as much. Hopefully you won't have many medical expenses or reasons you have to tap into that account. So you can just let it grow for the next 30 or 40 years. And, whenever you need it, you can just use that account specifically for whatever hospital bills or prescriptions you need.
Yeah. And I think the important thing to know about an HSA, and this is a little bit in the weeds, is that, you can't just open up an HSA account. You can't go to your bank right now and ask for an HSA account. You have to have a high deductible insurance plan. So I don't know how much we want to go into that, but it comes with a little bit of a caveat. You have to have higher deductibles for your insurance. Whoever offers that, and then you can get an HSA. But for a lot of people, it makes a lot of sense. So
right. And then on the bright side to that, it you can use it every year, so your funds roll over. You don't lose any money like a what is it, HFA?
Yeah. No, you're right.
So you can just keep rolling that money over every year and let it build and grow, and you never have to lose it. Yeah,
it's awesome. It's probably my favorite retirement account, just because you can use it for health spending, and it's basically like a normal retirement account, so it has two purposes, and it's super flexible.
For sure, man, for sure. And so the last two we'll get into are still within the IRA family. So we have the SEP IRA, which is for small businesses and self-employed people.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems pretty similar to the other IRAs that we talked about. There's just, little variations based on, how you're employed or whatever.
For sure, man. And so that's for the small business owners or the people who may not have employers to, help them out with the 401k. You can still, plan for retirement and be an entrepreneur at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's something that a lot of people should really think about if they're kind of doing their own thing. Is,
right.
You're putting a lot of money into your brand and, your skills and stuff like that, but you still want to diversify for the long term. So it's always a good idea to start investing some way.
Right, because being an entrepreneur most of the time does not come with a pension plan or like anything. No. So yeah, you got to plan that out and be prepared for that day too.
Totally.
And then the last one we're going to talk about is the self-directed IRA.
Yeah.
Which I think is the most diverse one or most relaxed one.
Yeah.
So this one allows you to put real estate or cryptocurrency or whatever type of asset you want to put in there.
Yeah, and this one's definitely a little bit more in the weeds, for sure. But it's an option for people if they have some more interesting or unconventional assets that they want to store away for retirement.
Right, if you want to get creative with it.
yeah, exactly. Which you don't have to, but some people like to. So.
Yeah, man. Some people like to play it dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. and good for them. We need those people in the world, but it's not me.
Not me either. Yeah. But yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Jacob, can you let the people know how they can reach you, how they can get in contact with you?
Yeah, man, I'm on Instagram. My handle is here's me Jacob. Not on there super frequently, but if you DM me, I'll get back to you in a couple weeks probably.
For sure. And you can follow us online on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook at WEInvested. You can catch us online at WEInvestedonline.com. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.